Hey everyone, good to see you. MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. I promised you a watch party. Here's the watch party. As you guys know from listening to me all the time, the noon games, Eastern time, Saturdays, I usually have about 4 or 5 favorites, and I'm all over the place. Michigan, Michigan State's pretty much it. I'm going to be watching other games and tuning to other games during the breaks, but this is our Michigan, Michigan State watch party. Huge game in the Big Ten Eastern Division. Sorry, I'm late. I really apologize. I went to bed about 6 a.m. And, yeah, I set my alarm for 11:40, jumped in the shower, took a little bit more time. The hot water was feeling good. Michigan driving, going to break after a timeout right here. No score. They've moved it past midfield on Sparty. My pick was Michigan -7. I don't feel great about that prediction, but I pick all the top 25 games, so it's not like I'm the guy who scans the top 25 games in the schedule and looks for the gems. As you guys know, I pick all the top 25 games, so the record's not going to be quite as good. Look out for the upset picks, which I've got this week. Oregon +3 to win outright against Washington State, and way off the radar, Arizona, in terms of a Power 5, way off the radar, Arizona +10 at UCLA without Khalil Tate, +10 against UCLA, Arizona to win straight up. There was a batch of games, Michigan, Michigan State, Utah, USC, Mississippi State, LSU. There were a couple other ones that were in that 5 to 8 point range that I felt, man, there is going to be an upset here. Oklahoma at TCU is a 7.5 point pick. Those type games that I thought, not one is hitting me as upset. That is going to be an upset, as I've hit in recent weeks. So I stayed away from those games because I felt like that 30 to 40% confident for all those games. I could see Mississippi State going to LSU tonight and winning that game outright. I could see TCU right now at home against Oklahoma, those home dogs especially. Even Maryland is a 9-point underdog at Kinnick Stadium, but for a noon kickoff. I could see that. That's going to be my second game of choice, along with Oklahoma TCU. So we've got the watch party going on here. Got 8 people online. I'm going to strike up the live chat, but I also want to, I'll probably keep this right where it is. So usually my boy comes over at some point during the day, but that might be tonight, brings his dog. So that's been this season's look at MarkRogersTV in regards to what I'm dealing with here at home. But last weekend, my daughter was, or actually last weekend, I went to go visit my daughter in college. There's been a couple other weekends that she was here, so she would pop in, obviously go to dinner, do something. And so, yeah, my life's been kids on a Saturday afternoon, going to baseball games, going to their baseball games. They played baseball and softball their whole lives. So a lot of that on Saturdays, even getting into the college football season a little bit, which you know I love my kids more than anything on this earth. But college football I love. Way up there too. So that was always difficult. But yeah, so the kids aren't around too much. Okay, Michigan, 3rd and 3. It's good to see all you guys. I don't know who's on the live chat right this second, but again, I'm going to jump on the live chat and I'm going to be focused on the game. I will give you my commentary. Obviously, right now, Michigan had a 3rd and 3. And they went with, man, offense has become so boring in college football. Are you guys sick of watching the same play over and over? I know it's effective. I know why it's effective, because you make the defensive end in particular make a read, but the quarterback reads the D end. Now they read a couple other keys, give it to the running back, or take off around the end. And it's become pretty boring. And, yeah, my glasses are crooked because I beat these things to heck over years and years and years, and I need some new glasses. Just got some reading glasses. That was a tough decision to make. All right, I'll get the live chat, and I don't know how I'm going to do this because I want to see a couple other games. I'm going to DVR Maryland, Iowa. Going to put that on DVR. You see Lewerke's numbers from last week, 259, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he was brilliant on the last drive and in the 4th quarter. But 24-52, he missed a ton of guys. They dropped a bunch of passes, missing 3 of their top 5 wide receivers. L.J. Scott's back this week. L.J. Scott in the lineup for Michigan State. This was a tough one to pick because generally, since Harbaugh's been there, they have been a substantial favorite each year against Michigan State, and they've underachieved. Even the one game that they won was at Michigan State, same game 2 years ago. Spartans, of course, had the 3-9 season, 24-point favorite. Michigan only won by 9. The other games, they've been upset. All right, so anyway, I'm going to, on the next commercial break, set the DVR for Iowa, Maryland, and I also want to watch Oklahoma, TCU. So I believe I'm going to put you guys, if I can put a small window up here with the chat right here. L.J. Scott out of the backfield, it appears. Yes, he's back. This is not good for Michigan. Oh, there's the bad news. Devin Bush is down. Devin Bush. I know some of you guys are really locked into particular teams, obviously, and other teams you just know, hey, Michigan's good. Michigan's good on defense. Devin Bush. Know the name. All right. Again, I apologize if I don't get to a ton of comments on the live chat, but I appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out, whatever games you guys are watching. Let me know what's your primary game. For me, it's Michigan State, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this game to do a watch party, because I'm not going to be totally all over the place. We got a break, though, because Devin Bush is down, and I'm going to DVR Maryland, Iowa. Hopefully, I'm loud enough. I'm not going to use the mic, obviously, and I want the sound up on the TV. Maryland, I think they're ESPN2. Excuse me. DVR, Maryland, Iowa. And we've got Darnell Savage, who's a good player, starting safety for Maryland. Down, and they're going to break. And, of course, we want to take a look at TCU, Oklahoma. That game's on ABC, I think. And we got Wisconsin, Illinois on FS1. Yeah, ABC, Oklahoma, TCU. I'm going to put that game. I'm going to put, yeah, I want the full laptop over here on my right on TCU, Oklahoma. So I'm going to look at the chat right here. And I pretty much know where this shot is. So I'm going to block this out so I can see the live chat. Hope you guys are doing well. I talked off the top in regards to, I'm sorry, I'm a little late for the game. I was about 5 minutes late for Michigan State. Got to bed at 6 a.m., was on the phone all night. And then I got some sleep from, sorry, no kickoff show today. I need to update my banner on my YouTube front page. I need to update the banner because I'm not able to fulfill the Sunday or whatever else I have on there Monday. I've got a work schedule change, unfortunately, and have to deal with that. This is the goal, to do this all the time and to do it right where it looks good. Oklahoma scores. I've got Oklahoma minus 7.5. And they apparently did something good there. Ran a trick play. Okay. I saw that, Richard, where you commented on the group and the possible names. Send those names to the group. You guys name your own group. You can do that better than I can. Oh, here we go. Turpin, gone. See ya. 7-7. Bye. There's TCU. TCU in space, dangerous, especially that dude. They're an athletic team. They just have had issues on the offensive line. Quarterback, spotty play by Robinson, but Here we go. That was wide open, too. And then he just had the kicker, number 43, just had the kicker to juke. Okay, let's get back to Michigan State. And I got to get this Oklahoma game over here. I got Maryland and Iowa on DVR. Lewerke, what a catch. Woo! Connor Hayward, running back. Nice little look there out of him. Joel Klatt's about 5 seconds behind me. He's a running back. And I usually take a ton of notes during these games, so you guys know. Falcons Fury, TCU reminds me of Florida offensively. Not great quarterback play or O-line play, but good playmakers. Yeah, exactly. The Florida wide receiver core, we don't know how good they are. Falcons Fury, good to see you. This is the first time we've caught you. Oh, man, and good no call. Josh Metellus, one of the best safeties in the Big Ten in the country. Good no call there on the hit. There is no way he can hold up there, and that gets called a lot. Did you guys see that? Wide receiver should have caught the ball. Who is that? Kelvin Davis. All right, let me get set up. I hate being almost through the first quarter. Again, apologies to you guys. I was about 5 minutes late on Michigan State. And, yeah, Josh Metellus, 3 tackles for loss, 3 picks this year. Michigan State near midfield. Brian Lewerke got popped at the 50. Third down action. Let's get Oklahoma TCU up here. Had some big runs last week in the running back position. He was a quarterback in high school, actually. His high school team was state championship here in Michigan, was the Gatorade player here. This state comes in switch position to running back that they can get that wildcat out of it. Certainly a quality player. It's a third down and 7 in midfield for Michigan State. Oh, here we go. Oklahoma TCU on the full screen. Nice. Joshua Uche with the sack. This Michigan defense, I'm telling you, they're playing better than anybody in the Big Ten. Michigan right now. Where was that? Navy Thomas. Nobody could spell that, Richard. You guys are going to distract me in the chat. I'm going to want to jump on this. Richard Neal, you are right. Smartest college football fans anywhere, right here. This is what we do it for the smart fan. Smart doesn't necessarily mean you can spell, though. How about my house and place? Not impressive, Navy Thomas. Navy Thomas, you guys don't want to know about my personal life. I'm maybe I'll take you into my kitchen later. If you guys would see, especially those you guys that have watched me for quite a long time, if you guys saw my living room into my kitchen and the open space, you guys would start to put together, oh yeah, that's right, he was over here, then he was over there, then he was over here, then he was over there. I've had my set basically in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of 5 different places here. And then for a long time last fall and this spring, I was upstairs in my daughter's bedroom because she left for college. And I was up in my daughter's bedroom. But you guys didn't know, it was always the blank wall behind me. But I was all over the place. I live in a triple-deck condo. And the bottom is garage, stairway. Garage is pretty large. I can fit 2 cars in the garage. And laundry room and so forth. The steps come up. Back there, I'm in the living room, which is a pretty large living room, into a kitchen that's open. And then upstairs, I've got 3 bedrooms, couple baths. Oklahoma, TCU. Am I going to talk like this all day? Cody Buchanan. I have not seen your name before. I apologize if I've missed it. Would love to see who you root for. It looks like Michigan. NBA fan, good to see you. Kyler Murray out of the backfield. Man, Marquise Brown is fast, isn't he? Woo! That was a play right there against TCU's defense where they are that quick. TCU on defense that typically any other wide receiver, they cut him down before he can get to the sticks. But Brown just turned it on, cut around the corner, bam, first down. So Oklahoma's 8 minutes left in the first quarter, 1st and 10, 7-7 game. They're at their own 42. Michigan State. I don't even know what trophy they play for. I've been watching this game forever. What that is. They put the helmet of the winning team on the trophy. Lewerke's got one of those things working where the big hair going over the side and then shaved. I couldn't do that completely, but I should probably update the haircut to do. Chris Evans, 9 yards. I usually take a ton of notes too, but I'm talking to you guys. Man, look at Kyler Murray. Just went for about 18. The Paul Bunyan Trophy. I thought that was Michigan, Minnesota. Michigan, Minnesota. Jay, right? Second and 1. There we go. First down. So, as you guys can imagine, because you guys are probably in the same position, I root for the teams that I bet on. I root for the teams that I picked. And I'm not a big bettor, but taking advantage of the knowledge this year a little bit. Haven't done that in quite a few years. Just picked the games in recent years for about the last 3 or 4 or 5. But, yeah, taking advantage. Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Paul Bunyan. Yeah, you guys are right. Terry Ann, good to see you. Alabama, Tennessee at 3:30. And Terry Ann, sorry, I think I said yesterday, for me, it's got to be Clemson, NC State at 3:30. Is Marquise Brown again. Super quick. Good play by the DB coming up. Clemson, NC State at 3:30 is my primary focus, but just because it's Alabama. Thanks, Jay. I don't know trophies. I don't follow them. Obviously, Richard, don't go with a weird hairdo. Obviously, I know a ton of trophy games just by osmosis because I live and breathe college football. I hate to say that, live and breathe. There are more important things in life, but you guys know what I mean. I love it. Okay, Michigan State on the big screen. I'm leaving this open for the chat. I would rather have a game here, but I'll look at the chat. No, I'm good. Maryland, Iowa on DVR. I'm watching 3rd and 5 with Trey Sermon. Just got the ball. Now 4th and 5, 4th and something. And Oklahoma's going for it. And I'm going to flip to the Iowa Maryland game. Who else is playing right now? Illinois, Wisconsin are on FS1. Okay, here we go. 4th and 3. TCU's only allowed 2 of 8 4th down plays this year. Oh, yeah. Conversion for the Sooners. Nice little play there. The CD Lamb on the slant. Toughest play in the passing game to defend is a good slant. Obviously, you gain inside position very quickly. Jay, if you guys make comments to me and I miss them, I think you understand I'm watching 3 games at the same time. But I appreciate you guys jumping on the watch party. Tell me if you like this, like doing this. You're going to hear analysis from me. You guys can talk. amongst yourselves as you typically do and ignore me. That's fine. But congratulations to, that was Jay. Yes. Graduating from Ohio State next semester. That's awesome. North Carolina 7-0 over the Cuse. That looked like an upset possibility, even on the road. Terry Ann loves it. This is great, Mark. Navy Thomas. It's fun. I'm sorry about the 10 a.m. kickoff deal. I was up till 6 a.m. Some of you have heard me say this 2 or 3 times now. But, yeah, I haven't gotten great response on the kickoff show, and I know you need to start things and then have it build and have people understand it's going to be there. Scores. You want scores from me, Navy Thomas? I don't think you're going to get them from me. It's LeBron's home debut coming up tonight. Rockets, Lakers. Who freaking cares? I don't care. My son cares. Jay likes it. Oh, anybody on the score? Sure. Miguel Racinos with a field goal. Iowa -9 pick, up by 3. Last play of the first quarter. They've got a kickoff. Okay, PJ Fleck. No, that's PJ Fleck. It reminded me of PJ Fleck. I saw Cam Cameron jump out there. I thought it was PJ Fleck. That's just who it looked like with the look. But, of course, he didn't have the tie. PJ Fleck always has the tie on. Okay, let's get back to Michigan State. I'm probably missing. I'm talking too much. I got to get some water, too. I haven't eaten anything. I just jumped in the shower and got right to it. Shea Patterson looking for the sticks. Not going to get there. Oh, it was only a first down play. Okay. Losing track of Michigan State. Let me throw this at you guys. Thank you, Terry Ann. I appreciate that so much. This is the kind of stuff I need. This is the kind of stuff I need. And I know that some of you guys don't think of it. And if I was on your side, I wouldn't think of it either. I'd want to help, but at the same time, this wouldn't be something that I would be thinking about all the time. Let's share this. Let's get it out there. And when I tell you guys, I know that maybe you're like me. My family could care less about college football, except for my sister likes the Buckeyes. That's all she'll watch, Ohio State football. So she watches most of the games, of course, the big games. Oh, boy, we've got a lightning delay. There we go. Headed to the locker room. Michigan State, 5:15 left in the first quarter. Michigan's driving. Okay. Possible snow in the forecast. Hopefully they'll not be delaying the game because there's a possible snow flurry in the air. But yes, lightning delay. Okay, that frees up a screen. So we're going to go Oklahoma TCU on the big screen for as much as the Big Ten sways me a little bit. So yes, this is really frustrating for Fox. This is who it's really frustrating for, Joel Klatt. Fox losing a game that should be a later in the day game that they put at noon because it's going to dominate the ratings. But let's go. I'm going to go. Is there another decent game on? I know Houston's playing Army, Illinois, Wisconsin. I'm not crazy about. So I'm going to put, yeah, I'm just going to put the Oklahoma TCU game on the big screen. I'm going to put Iowa and Maryland. I usually have 3 games going at the same time. Oh, Terry Ann, you love football. I was starting to talk about my family. Oh, well, I'm way off the charts in terms of football love in my family. My sister watches Ohio State, especially the big games. Nobody else watches anything. My dad passed away. He would watch Ohio State, and he'd watch college football with me on Saturdays. My son was a huge Buckeyes fan up until a couple of years ago. Now he's more NBA, Major League Baseball, the Indians. He likes Ohio State, but he doesn't really care if they win. He thinks it's all just a bunch of, they get the best players, 5 stars, you know, show me something kind of thing. I'm going to go to Maryland and Iowa here. Where's that guy? Oh, we can strike out Auburn, Ole Miss, possibly. Where's the, oh, there they are. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some, oh, you know what? That's on the SEC network. I don't get that. I'm going to call up another game. Ooh, Virginia Duke. Yes. I sounded like I was almost excited for Virginia Duke. I am. Oh, look at Cincinnati's down early. Okay, I'm going to have to minimize this. I've got a MacBook Pro, and this is really pathetic, but I don't know how to do these screens too well. Where I kind of do the screens. Shoot. How do you do this? Let's see. Let's see, I'm going to open another screen because I want to see Virginia Duke, Oklahoma scores. I'm usually taking notes like a madman all day. Let's see. I'm going to watch Virginia Duke here. Oklahoma scores 14-7. That was Trey Sermon. 13 plays, 66 yards. A long Oklahoma drive, huh? Longest TV drive of the season, 7:39. Oklahoma usually scoring in 90 seconds. Wisconsin up 14-0 as expected. Only 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Would like to see Auburn Ole Miss, but I can't see that game. So I'm going to go with the Virginia Duke game. I'm interested to see this. So Virginia bouncing back from, not bouncing back, but trying to back up last week's big win at Duke. 7-point underdog at Duke. This is a big game in the Coastal Division. Duke has 1 loss to Virginia Tech. Virginia's lost 1 game to NC State. So if I can figure out how to arrange the live chat, this is pathetic that I can't do this. This is so pathetic. I'm on a computer like 23 hours a day. I'm trying to get both, I'm trying to configure both windows at the same time here.
Now more than ever, the world needs leadership. Not just from individuals, but from good people who are driven to make a difference. Now more than ever.
Whoop, I lost the chat. Where's the chat? Oh, I lost it. It's, I don't need to see my return. Oh, I don't need to see that either. Oh, did I just knock us out? I hope I didn't. Hope I didn't. Crap. Did I didn't knock us out, did I? Okay. All right. We're still here. I thought I knocked us out for a second. Oklahoma 14-7. Kevontae Turpin, punt return touchdowns, 4 total punt return kickoff touchdowns with some kind of record. I didn't see it. Dick Mojalewski died, 87, 14-year career in the NFL. Does anybody out there have a Mac If you can tell me how I can split these screens. I know I should be able to have multiple screens, and I'm an idiot. Because I want to be able to see the chat, so I just need to move you guys over here. But I want to be able to see the chat, and also I want to pull up Virginia and Duke over here. Navy Thomas, are you actually going to the Oklahoma or the Wisconsin-Illinois game? Really? There's just so many other better games here. And I want to see Virginia and Duke. I got to get comfortable here. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to. I got to be able to see over these things.
Senior. They do not need to face third down and 10.
This desk is just high enough that it's like.
Delay game on the defense number 11. This week, it's a move that he simulates, but really doesn't make cause the offensive man to pull. So the offensive man outside started forward based on his non-football move. Throwing the arms up in the air, you mean that's not a normal coverage technique? It was designed.
All right. Get some notes going. You guys keep me honest on Michigan State.
The first down was given based on the defensive penalty was a big call. So now it's first and 15. That's a heck of a catch. Unless you're looking for that in well-trained and Gary Patterson's side happened right in front of him.
This desk is just high enough. End of the first quarter in Iowa City. Waving to the children in the hospital. One of the great traditions in college football, and I believe that has greatly affected giving, which is good.
Do your thing. Be driven. Powerful. Be inspired. Be extraordinary. Turn off the highway and soar. Spread your wings. Mazda. Feel alive. This season, keep your stories interesante, like Dos Equis, the beer whose label inspired the greatest comeback in history. Authentic Mexican cerveza. 4.2% alcohol by volume. 1 gram protein, 0 gram fat. 2 goats, 12 fluid ounces. Dos Equis, keep it interesante. You're headed down the highway when the guy in front slams on his brakes out of nowhere.
Nobody's playing right now, or at least in these two games. I've got to figure out how to split this screen.
Over one mistake. You hear that, Karen? Liberty Mutual doesn't hold grudges. I'm mature now. For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Liberty, 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 Liberty. The sum above difference is grill. Because if you're making a cheesesteak and you're not using a hot grill to make it, well, you're not making a cheesesteak. Give our grill a go. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. New Tuesday, The Conners is television's #1 new series.
We have a winner!
The fall's best new comedy.
What a delightful surprise.
That's a loud funny.
There is a room full of guys here. You're an educated, diabetes-free woman in Lanford. You're a catch.
And just as the Conners are moving on, David comes back with his lovely new girlfriend.
Crystal-licking, patchouli-smelling hippie.
The Conners, new Tuesday, 8/7 Central on BBC. Jack wanted a fence around his yard, so he got a post hole digger, but didn't call 811. Before you do any digging in your yard with our equipment, call 811.
All right, I guess we're settling in here.
It's free.
Can't wait for Mississippi State LSU. I picked Bulldogs. I can understand that.
You won't see anywhere else. Sponsored by the all-new 2018 Chevy Equinox.
Got
You need to do everything you want. Experience
Iowa, Maryland on the other screen. Iowa's moving the ball on the ground. 11 minutes left in the half. 3-0. Take the under. Jason, just like your video, Mark. Cool. Good to know, Jason. Appreciate that. These screens. Yeah, all right. I need to get up here.
Stewart was open on the slam from Sean Robinson, but it got tipped down the line by Kenneth Mann. 2nd and 15. I know it was coming out of the quarterback. Just watch Oklahoma. They hit their call line. Just get yourself lined up too many times over the last few weeks.
Richard, you got to be fired up for the game tonight, 7 o'clock.
Get yourself lined up. Even right there. Middle screen.
Bad pass by Robinson. Over the middle. Miss Turpin. Iowa's on the move. 4th and 3 play. They got it. Little swing pass on 4th and 3 to Noah Fant. Get the ball to your best players. Noah Fant, possibly the best tight end in the nation. Bama boys got a feeling. I'm still taking LSU, but I totally get it. I totally get it. I almost did the same thing. I did take Mississippi State with a point, 6.5. Another bad pass out of Robinson. So that was not a good series from Sean Robinson. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. John Mackey named 2 tight ends of the week last week. TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant, both for Iowa, because they combined for over 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Interesting. Not that interesting, but somewhat interesting. Nathan Stanley throws one away. All right, just for you, Navy Thomas, we'll check in on Wisconsin and Illinois. This game has to be like, I know it was 14-0. What game's on ESPN? Oh, you guys did say snow. All right. I'm with you. Okay. All right. I like this. Okay. I get it now. Okay. There's actually snow on the ground. Love it. I don't want it here. I used to love to play in the snow, but no, not here, but it's fun to watch. Nate Stanley, no way he's getting the ball in there, 3rd and goal, so we've got a 4th and goal now. Oh, yeah. Wisconsin, Illinois, in the snow. Got a fumble. Illinois fumble. Wisconsin's got it. Can't you just see Wisconsin winning this game 48-0 in the snow? Even though both teams should be acclimated to it and have no issue with it. Illinois throws a little screen pass out to number 2. Sorry, I don't know who that is. I should know who everyone is, but he fumbles. Yeah. Ball slick. He had it exposed, too. All right. I need to get back to Oklahoma TCU. I got you, Navy Thomas.
It's never been easier to watch ESPN 3 games right here on Xfinity X1.
Andres, good to see you, man. Anybody who I haven't said hi to, I appreciate you jumping on the watch party. Hopefully this is good for you. Obviously, you guys watch the game, so I'm not going to be showing TV screens. I'm just going to show me, and you've got the chat, and you guys talk it up. I'm not going to be able to respond to everything because I'm trying to watch the games. So my plan was Michigan State on the big screen, Oklahoma, TCU, and then Maryland and Iowa on the third screen. But I'm down to these 2 games, and I can't figure out how to split my screen so I can see Virginia and Duke. Maybe I'll just kind of go back and forth. Let's see what's going on right there. Virginia's got the ball. This game is on the ACC network and on a Fox regional. Virginia's driving. They're at the Duke 45, but they've got a 3rd and 10. They're up 7-0. They got about 7. Kennedy Brooks with a nice run for Oklahoma. I'm going to move this just to the side because this is driving me nuts. I'm trying to look over these monitors. Let's do this. Perfect. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Iowa 6-0. Get to 9, boys. All right. Let's see how this looks. All right. Andres going to take the week off college football? Absolutely not. You're not going to do that. All right. So this is still kind of annoying. Let's see. Let's move this. There we go.
Good call, but it's substituted too late. The offense did. It's not their responsibility. It's not their responsibility. It belongs to the defense. It's going to be 15.
Man, he is quick. Kyler Murray. Did you see this play? He just slipped out of that tackle. Delivered downfield. There's a flag.
In downfield. An eligible man downfield on the offense 56. It's a 5-yard penalty. Your center there on that scramble, those linemen get about a 3-yard carry, 4-yard carry. They give you a little grace. But unfortunately, as the quarterback scrambles here, you watch the center, they call it on Creed Humphrey. He doesn't know that. He's just working down the field. Yeah, and he's 4 yards past that line of scrimmage when the ball's released. So a must be for the TCU defense now as they have first and 20.
Oklahoma 1st and 20 at the TCU 40. Trey Sermon caught behind the line of scrimmage. Maryland's got a first down. Banagu making a play for TCU behind the line. Kyler Murray has eluded a sack, like a legitimate sack. Guy had him dead to rights. Not dead to rights because he was on the perimeter, but got to the outside. Then he just juked a guy in the open field, gets a substantial gain. Just got 12 yards, 3rd and 8. Near the sticks. Looks like he's going to be about a half-yard short. I'm watching OU TCU. Maryland with about a 5-yard gain. Oklahoma's going to be short on this. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, he came back to the ball. That's a good spot by the officials. I hate when they give too much forward progress. So he caught the ball past the first down marker, but he decided to run backwards. Well, they've easily got the first down because Banagu couldn't get out on Trey Sermon. They got a touchdown, not on Trey Sermon, on Kennedy. Kennedy Brooks, 21-yard touchdown. OU minus 7.5. Did you guys get my picks? Check out the picks. I don't like that the player has to leave the game either, because I think the situation is that it's football, and I want to protect these guys, but give them a penalty, give them one targeting to stay in the game and suffer the penalty, and then the second targeting, kick them out. Second targeting, kick them out, not the first one. These, especially the safeties, the linebackers in particular, it's impossible for them to play their positions. It's tough. And it's impossible for these defensive linemen or a blitzing linebacker to be able to pull up on a quarterback at the last second. Sense of humor's not happy with the LSU schedule. All right, let's do a little Maryland to Iowa focus here. Iowa's run 34 plays to 14. But Maryland's on the move at the Iowa 47. Oh, we got a pick. That's the power of Pacific. Good play on the ball. That was a long throw to make on the other side of the field.
Okay, I picked out my dream car. That was the really fun part.
So Hill gets picked off.
The wheels, the interior, everything exactly how I wanted. Here's the thing. Just because I configured this car online doesn't mean it really exists at the dealership. But with TrueCar, I got real pricing on actual cars in my area. I see what others paid for them, and they show me the ones that match the car I want. So I know I can go to a TrueCar certified dealer, and it'll be.
They showed the replay, but we didn't get to see the interception. So Iowa's got the ball back. Iowa's got the ball back up there, up 6-0. They're at midfield. Terry Ann tells us that the Auburn game that I can't see is boring. kind of surprises me. I would think Auburn Ole Miss would be a decent game.
Only at Burger King. Putting off vehicle maintenance? We've got you covered. The highly trained technicians at Jiffy Lube exchange transmission fluids, change oil, and more. You can do
Let's see what you guys are looking at with Wisconsin, Illinois. They're in commercial. Oklahoma, TCU, Maryland, and Iowa. Prince, Mark, as someone who played linebacker my whole life, I agree with the one warning targeting. I just think we have just asked these kids just to completely change their approach to the game. And even if you've never played football and you're just learning, it's just asking the impossible. Two ways. It's asking the impossible for them not to. If you're 6 feet tall and you're tackling a guy who's 6 feet tall, I understand that, and I know you played linebacker probably at a higher level, but just playing in high school football, yeah, you were taught to break down, meaning get into a base and hit the midsection and drive and wrap, but you're just trying to get guys on the ground, and you're generally the same height. You're going to clash helmets. It's going to happen. And then the other one that bothers me mostly in the NFL, I don't see it called too much in college football. I've seen it too many times, but it's not consistently. Hey, 2KJ, we're talking about targeting and late hits on the quarterback, so I'm getting to late hits on the quarterback in the NFL. It's ridiculous. These guys have to have at least a step and a half to get to the quarterback. You cannot just pull up running full speed in a split second. Okay, Iowa's got the ball. That's good news for me. 42-yard line. First down. Running the sweep. They got nothing. They lost a yard.
To get this young quarterback feeling good. A tremendous player in high school. Highest quarterback recruit they've ever had here. They just want to get him feeling good in the last two possessions.
Sean Robinson's 2 for 6. I feel like I'm shouting. Do I have to shout?
Against TCU. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Richard freshman flinching. Defense lineman, dominant defensive lineman, high school level, 4-star recruit. Wes Harris there at the right guard, just his 3rd start.
You guys do whatever you want. We've got Glow OU. This is the first time I've seen you, Glow OU, on the chat. So thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Tell us who you root for. Well, it's got to be OU, right? Okay, so that's what I'm watching too. Oklahoma, TCU. Got Maryland, and I should probably change the name of the watch party, huh? We're not watching a lightning delay. I wonder if I can do that right now. So anyway, it's a Michigan State watch party. You know, I should have put the other teams on there because I'm all over the place. My bad. Hawkinson with a first down to Iowa with these 2 tight ends, I tell you, tearing people up. Oh! Oklahoma should have had a pick. Houghton. I'm going to see if I can change the name of this. I probably can't midstream.
That is just a move in a throw. You're looking at the safety. It was a good 4-man rush, and it gets in his face. But that may just be the decision in the throw that gives Gary Patterson the opportunity to do what he's wanted to do. Let's give up the backup quarterback. Just an opportunity. Sean Robinson to get on the sidelines. Rugby style kick. And this one coming to the sideline. Not a good punt. This is not going to change field position at all. For TCU is Oklahoma.
Bad punt. OU at the 42. 10 minutes left in the first half. Virginia's up on Duke 7-0. 1 minute left in the first quarter. Got an offensive lineman hurt for Duke, being helped off the field. Iowa at the Maryland 35, 2nd and 9. Nate Stanley, bad pass, bad decision. Wasn't really open. Tough angle. 3rd and 9 for Iowa, 140 left in the. Wait a minute. There's not 140 left in the first half. They've got 2nd, meaning 2nd. They've got 3rd and 9. Then it says 2nd on the graphic in the Iowa-Maryland game. There can't be a minute 40 left in the 2nd quarter. No. I guess there would be. Wait a minute. Anyway. Nate Stanley, 1st down, running.
Relationship and conversation with Sean Robinson.
Not at the huge powerhouse schools, but recently at some of the Kennedy Brooks in the secondary, tripped up inside the 10, big play. So it looks like Oklahoma's going to go up even more. I've noticed, and I don't think this is anything different, but there's a big topic concerning college football attendance. And if you go to like Stanford, Arizona State the other night, the upper deck was empty. It was about 10% occupied at the Arizona State game against Stanford. And I've seen that at a lot of games. Ooh, did you see the play at Virginia? Really good play, really good pass play from Perkins downfield inside the 5-yard line. So Virginia's up 7-0. They're inside the 5. And it was an excellent throw over the DB on the sideline by Bryce Perkins.
Those two are going to get a really good look. To me, it's going to be a 2-time all-conference player. 44 is enormously mammoth.
In the Oklahoma game, they're talking about the lack of offensive line prospects coming out of college football, that the NFL is suffering from it. Ooh, a little dangerous. Good play by the DB. Number 21, Evans. I did not exercise yesterday. That was a bad move on my part. I just started racking up all those live streams, and then I got involved with everything else I was doing for my business, and then late night I got on the phone forever. Oklahoma touchdown. Morris touchdown. Lee Morris, 9-yard TD reception. That was a 4-play drive for 58 yards. So Oklahoma, we've seen them go 13 plays, 66 yards, almost 8 minutes off the clock, and then we saw a 90-second drive, 4 plays, 58 yards. They had the one big run out of Brooks. Ticket sales don't make the money. It is the TV contracts. Yes, thank you, Thomas. Yes, that is exactly right. Big Ten is weak this year. Is it really sense of humor? Is the Big Ten that weak? It's the second best conference. Andres paid close to $200 for Miami FSU. Is that before it was a sellout? That was just for face value? I'm still trying to figure out how this Iowa-Maryland game only has 51 seconds left in the half. Is this correct? It says second, as in second quarter. It's 1:10. If they shoot up time like that, wow. It would have to be only 51 seconds left in the run game. Sure. But man, the clock has finally slowed just on this Iowa series because they've thrown incomplete passes. Now 3 of them. And there have been a couple of flags. But this Iowa-Maryland game was at minute 40, and the other games were like 13 minutes, and that's why I questioned that must be the wrong graphic. But now it's starting to catch up. They're not going to come anywhere close. But the Oklahoma game's at about 8.5 minutes. Oh, we got a flag along the offensive line. Somebody got a hands to the face. I believe that's going to be on the Maryland defensive lineman. That's going to help out Iowa. Yep. I think that's a hands to the face. Huge penalty. The Maryland defense was off the field. They got a hands to the face, is what I think was called, and now Iowa's got a 1st and goal. Well, they're at the 11. And threw an incomplete pass. Stanley's got to clean up his game just a little bit. What do you guys think in the Big Ten Western Division? Iowa, Wisconsin. Purdue. Purdue has only lost 1 game in the division, in the conference. If there's going to be a huge upset today, like a double-digit upset today, do you think it might be Indiana at home against Penn State? Maybe. This Michigan State delay is going to mess up my later viewing because I want to see that game. No Tennessee, Bama. Wes likes NC State for the upset. I certainly like the 17.5 points. And NC State came within a touchdown last year. Then they had the famous missed field goal overtime loss that would have knocked Clemson out of the playoff. Did you guys see what just happened in the Wisconsin game? The punter muffed the snap, then he bounced it, and then he kicked it in the snow. Okay, Sean Robinson's out of the game. Michael Collins from New Canaan, Connecticut. That's just down the road here. In the game for the Horned Frogs. Oh, boy! Almost pick 6. The true freshman jumped it. Bradley Hiles, almost a pick 6 for Oklahoma. If you guys have noticed, Cincinnati's come back. It's 7 or it's 10-10. Devontae Turpin's loose. Touchdown. Wow. Almost a pick 6 for Oklahoma with Bradley Hiles going one way. Next play, Devontae Turpin on the screen pass, shakes a couple tackles. He gets in the open field. Nobody's going to catch him. 28-14. Look at this touchdown play. Look at this touchdown play from Iowa in the right corner of the end zone. Illinois is on the board. Look at the catch in the corner of the end zone in the Iowa game. Nathan Stanley put it where he needed to. There is a flag. And, of course, they're going to look at this. Iowa touchdown. They're also looking at the Fonte Turpin run to the end zone. So the Iowa receiver, left hand, left arm getting held, pulls it in with his right. Beautiful catch, beautiful throw. All right. So TCU on the board, 28-14. Rutgers up 10-7. Yikes.
So when I do find time to eat, it is also good. Campbell's turkey, soup that eats like a meal.
So Navy Thomas, you miss so I get Nebraska, Oklahoma don't play. Nebraska, Colorado don't play in conference. Ohio State, Michigan, why would they not be playing in the snow? If it snows, they're playing in it. Anthony likes NC State. Do you guys like NC State to win the game? I do not like them winning this game. I only picked 2 upsets today. That's Arizona over UCLA, and I don't consider this an upset, but Oklahoma or Oregon's a 3-point underdog against Washington State. Oh, we got Michigan State coming up at 150, according to Anthony. Good stuff. I hear you on snow games, Navy Thomas. Snow games, Ohio State, Michigan. 1981 was a big snow game, Ohio State, Michigan, in Ann Arbor. Buckeyes scored late to win it. Art Schleicher scramble for a touchdown. Buckeyes were a 10-point underdog, tied for the Big Ten championship. Swampy McGee, my record against the spread this season is 78-64. So do the math. I don't know what that is. It's not as good as it should be. 78-64. So, hey, Navy Thomas, I hate to argue with you on this, but Ohio State and Michigan did not play in the snow in the 70s. Anyway, Swampy McGee, 78-64 against the spread. But keep in mind, I pick all the games. So that's not the way to do it to have a really good record. If you watch most prognosticators, they will pick and choose, and they'll pick like 3 games or 5 games a week. I pick them all. So 78-64, but keep this in mind also. I'm telling you guys all the time, don't touch the games with the point spread over 20 or 21 points. 3 touchdowns and over, get rid of it. And my record in those games going into last week, and it's about the same now, is 500. Okay? So that tells you a lot. Stay away from the 3 touchdown plus games. And I ran that by my guy, Steve Merrill, on Pro Sports Info, and he said the same thing. That makes total sense because once a point spread gets to that 30-35 range, it's just a toss-up because we know Ohio State could beat Rutgers by 50 if they wanted to, but they don't need to. So when they're up 35 in the fourth quarter, who knows how hard they're going to be playing? Who knows who's going to be in the game? Who knows how the coaches are going to be calling plays? Some coaches just want to get on the bus and get out of there with a 17-point win. Other coaches, let's drive them into the ground. Let's win by 35. So I stay away from those games. So my leader in your league is 138.95 against the spread. I'm guessing that he spends a whole lot more time on it than I do. I just run down the games to pick them. I'm usually at 58, 59% against the spread. I'm 14-11 picking upsets. That's, if you guys know anything about the way Vegas exchanges money, is huge. All right, Oklahoma's got the ball at their 25. TCU's got a little life now. Iowa, Maryland at 1:20 are going to halftime. Fast-paced game. Iowa up 13-0, which I love. I've got Iowa -9. Not just Iowa -9, up 13, but they're not up 13 in a shootout. So that's, hey, Dennis, good to see you. I think you guys understand it's one thing to, let's say if you've picked a team to cover a spread, that they're picked to win by 9, and it's a shootout, and so it could be the fourth quarter, and you're up 41-27, so you're up, but you know this game there's a ton of points being scored. Versus, I'm up in the Iowa game, and they're just not giving anything up. Garrett Wallow with his second sack of the season. He leads the team with 45 tackles. I hate sitting like this. My shoulders like. Wide open receiver, Marquise Brown, Hollywood for the big first down. Let's check out Virginia and Duke. No, they're in break. No, they come back from break. Cavaliers up 14-0. Virginia, if they have beaten Miami and if they win this game against Duke, Virginia, we'll have to talk about them. I'm going to have to eat something. I'm going to pass out. Okay, TCU's got some life here because they got the big pass play was called back, and they stopped the 3rd and 21. Oklahoma's going to have to punt deep in their own end. Virginia's on the move again. Austin Seibert punting for Oklahoma at his own goal line. Delay of game. You know how you want, if you're the punt team and you're at the other team's 40, 45-yard line, how you want to have the intentional delay of game to give your punter more space. You don't want that at your own 10-yard line. Oklahoma was that close to getting a pick six to make it 35-7. Now they're punting from their own end zone. They're only up 28-14, 5 minutes left in the first half, and TCU is going to have great field position. Let's see where they get this. TCU is going to get this. They've got a block. They've got a ton of room. They're at the 32. There you go. Virginia's got a 3rd and 6. Bryce Perkins. Boy, he looks ugly. He's throwing the ball. Woo! Bryce Perkins. My goodness. That's really the first time I really paid attention to his throwing motion. He looks like it's just difficult. TCU just scored a touchdown. Wow. Possible pick 6 to make it 35-7. It's going to be 28-21. That goes in the notes. I'm not taking too many notes here at all. I usually have like 2 full pages by now. Look at Virginia. No, that's okay. That's the halftime show. I thought they scored again. Never mind. 14-0. So this is basically the Michigan State watch party, but I should have labeled it the noon watch party, the noon Eastern Time college football watch party. Because Oklahoma TCU, Iowa Maryland, Virginia Duke, Cincinnati and Temple, big game in the American. Houston and Army are playing. Yeah, Oklahoma's got 5 minutes to do something with it, and they're getting stuffed. TCU, I tell you, they've taken back momentum, and I'm not a big momentum guy. The TCU defense is fired up. I knew you guys should know what the watch party is. I just didn't label it right. What's going on over there? TCU's going to get the ball back with 4 minutes left in the first half.
TCU set up another return. Time to call for a fair catch. In traffic, it bounces. And that turns out to be kick catch interference. That could be a 15-yard penalty against Oklahoma. It'd be a big change in field position.
Oklahoma just made a big mistake. Kick catch interference, 15 yards. TCU's got it, 1st and 10, 3:46 left in the first half. Good field position. So they're going to be at midfield. Here are my picks today. Just to win games. Central Florida over East Carolina, Iowa over Maryland, Michigan State, Ohio State beats Purdue, Bama beats Tennessee, Penn State beats Indiana. Oregon beats Washington State, huge game in the Pac-12 North. Washington beats Colorado. Nebraska wins its first game, Navy Thomas, over Minnesota. I know at 3:30 on the Big Ten Network, maybe we should do a Nebraska-Minnesota watch party. OU beats TCU. Clemson beats North Carolina State. LSU beats Mississippi State. I know some of you love the upset there. I get it. Utah beats USC. South Florida kills UConn. Kentucky slips by Vandy. And Arizona upsets UCLA. Those are the picks today. Not many games. They usually pick 22 or 23 games. It's only like 16. Okay, against the spread, taking UCF to cover 21 against ECU, taking Iowa to cover 9 against Maryland, taking Michigan to cover a touchdown against Michigan State. TCU's got a first down. Collins kept it. I got Purdue plus the 13 against Ohio State. I've got Tennessee plus 29 against Bama, but stay far, far away. Indiana plus 14.5 against Penn State. Got Oregon plus 3 against Washington State. Got Colorado plus the 17.5 against Washington. I've got Minnesota plus 5 against Nebraska. I've got OU covering 7.5 against TCU. And if they would have gotten that pick 6 to make it 35-7, this would be a completely different game right now. Now it's a fight. It's a dog fight. I've got NC State plus the 17.5 against Clemson. I've got Mississippi State with 6.5 against LSU. I've got USC in a touchdown against Utah. I've got UConn plus 33 against South Florida, but who cares? It's inconsequential. I love this. Vandy and 13 at Kentucky. And I've got Arizona plus 10 against UCLA. So I'm taking 3, 4 to cover, and I believe 12 with a point. Wisconsin scores with a minute left in the first half. Leads Illinois 28-7. Navy Thomas apparently did not back Pelini, Callahan, Pelini, Riley. Fourth and 3, 14 seconds left in the first half. I didn't pay enough attention here to know how TCU wasted all this time. Why did I think Houston was playing Army? Maybe they're playing Navy. I thought I saw that. Number one ND fan, TCU has to go for this. Wait a minute. Fourth and 3, 14 seconds left. Where's the ball? They must be at the Oklahoma 43. Yes, go for it. Go for it. Because if you don't get it, then you give the ball to Oklahoma with like 6 or 7 seconds left on the clock. Okay, wait a minute. They're at the – oh, yeah. If your kicker's good, I don't remember this kid's any good. Let's see what he is. 2 for 4 on the season. And this is a 40? Where are we kicking from? Ugh. This is about a 42-yarder. Yeah, you don't go for it here. Let him kick, and he got it. He got it. Okay, 28-24. Good confidence builder for the 2 for 4 kicker. We're close to halftime, TCU and Oklahoma. Check out Virginia Duke with Iowa and Maryland still at halftime. Virginia's punting. Duke is going to get the ball. Oh, it looked like good field position, but maybe not necessarily. Around their own 20, flag down, 5 minutes left in the first half. All right, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves like I really need to tell you to do that.
Two Taco Bell icons were meant to be together. Nothing matches the flaming hot Fritos of the legendary beef and crunch burrito better than the tropical lime storm of the Baja Blast, the perfect pair for Taco Bell's latest $2 duo.
It's going to make some eggs, but I don't have any butter. All right. Michigan State at 150, right? Isn't that what JD told us or somebody? Andres? Okay, it's in 10 minutes. Duke, Virginia, I'm still watching.
With Hulu, tailgating's never been better. Unlike the early days when all you had was a radio. But through the years, the experience got better.
Excuse me for eating. You guys can obviously see me. I can't see you, so who knows what you're up to. The great commentary. You mean during this? 2KJ, your standards for great need to be raised considerably, but I'll take it. So I've got Oklahoma TCU on the big screen. It was reserved for Michigan State, but it's Oklahoma TCU until Michigan State come back at apparently 1:50 Eastern time. I've got Iowa, Maryland on DVR, but I also have it on the screen over here, so I probably am not. I'm definitely not going to watch. My son makes fun of me all the time for taping games constantly and not watching them. So Iowa, Maryland underway. Iowa's all over the first play of the second half, no gain. Little game summary for the first half, Iowa and Maryland, Kinnick Stadium, winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Iowa had the ball for 23 minutes of the first half, and they racked up 237 yards on the ground. So there's a note. You're going to see that in the newsletter. Iowa had the ball for 22:39 of the first half.
Welcome to the Capital One halftime report. Suddenly things are interesting here. TCU coming back right now.
Okay, I'm going to put some other game on here on the big screen. Let's go with Virginia Duke. Let's watch this. Molly McGrath, wind all over the place, hair all over the place because of the wind. Molly's still looking good. Upset of the century, Tennessee, Bama. Wouldn't that be something?
33rd career start today for Chris Lee.
2KJ can't just stand the TV announcers. The team doing the ABC game, and I got to be careful with my analysis. I think you guys understand that. I've got to be careful with my analysis. If I didn't work where I work, I would let loose. I would cut loose, and it would be a whole lot of fun. It would be a whole lot of fun analyzing the broadcasting, not just the broadcasting. It wouldn't be so much the game announcing, but analyzing the analysts, because it's pretty shaky out there. But the Brock Heward, Bob, I can't pronounce his last name. I can't think of it. Washuzan, the Washuzan Heward duo on the ABC game. Those guys are excellent. Excellent. I don't recognize the guys on the Fox ACC game on Duke, Virginia. Wisconsin, Illinois, the Big Ten Network guys. Nothing's coming to mind right now. Michigan State with Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt. I'm good with them. They're good. Mark Rogers TV, anti-Danielson. No, I used to love Gary Danielson. These days, I'm okay with Gary Danielson, but back in the day with Brent Musburger, I thought he was really on top of his game, but he's still good. Okay with Danielson.
And it looks like holding is the preliminary indication from at least in front of the Virginia bench.
All right. What am I doing here? Virginia Duke. Oh, I got to eat this straw here.
to just get enough of Jones, make sure he doesn't get that first down, even if the flag hadn't been thrown. Still wouldn't have made the sticks. Nice job in open field. There are multiple fouls on play. Holding, offense, number 65. Plays a climb. Holding, offense, number 25. In-air penalty, fourth down. Correction, third down. Third and long.
We've got rain in North Carolina at the Duke game.
I mean, there's an energy on that sidelines right now that's it's really infectious for these guys out on the field. We'll see if they can make a big play here. Jones.
Virginia with a sack on Daniel Jones. Virginia, 2 minutes left in the first half, up on Duke 14-0. If the Cavaliers have wins in the Coastal Division over Duke and Miami,
and a Virginia timeout with under 2 minutes to go. He's just a whole lot of want to. This time he missed him on the third down try where Jones, he was chasing behind on the blitz. This time, the senior linebacker wrestles him down. Well, they've got 2 touchdowns, James, but Virginia's defense has been very tough in the first half.
It looks like a beautiful day in Iowa City, but apparently the wind is just brutal. So, oh my goodness. Nearly a strip sack. Okay, it's ruled an incomplete pass in the Iowa game. That Iowa front four, especially the DNs, Espinosa, and the rest of those guys, good players. Hess, woo, getting after the quarterback. See this blindside hit? Iowa, they get a little bit of help from somebody. They could be in Indianapolis. I'll get some decent field position here. About the 50.
Bryce Perkins and the Cavaliers give the ball. I mean, they've had great field position in the first half. This is at the Virginia 24.
So we've got Virginia with the ball, up 14, 150 left in the first half. Ball at their own 24.
Starts at the 24, but one timeout left and 2 touchdown lead. We'll get the ball to start the second half. They want to make sure they're only trailing 14. Look at us. That's almost 10 on the first down.
Does somebody want to let me know when Michigan State are on the field?
I thought that the front seven were Duke. Really on tape, they looked.
Navy Thomas asking about the last
Virginia Tech had a really tough time running the football on the squad.
Bama snow game. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? Guys would freak out. Terry Ann lets us know Michigan State back out there. Have you guys seen Virginia quarterback Bryce Perkins throw the ball? It's tough to watch, but that one got there. Okay, we're back to Michigan State. Nice throw by Patterson. Joel Klatt's always about 5 seconds behind me on this analysis. That's a beautiful throw. Wisconsin 28-10 at the half. Jay Patterson starts hot, 4 for 5, 34 yards.
Gained 6 yards on the play. And that's interesting here because they haven't had much success running the football, Gus, what I would say inside inside the tackles. That play was more of what I'm calling outside stretch zone play. It's designed to get outside the tackle.
Is Rutgers going to win a Big Ten game against Northwestern? Northwestern is the team in the Big Ten that can play Michigan down to the last few seconds. Then they can turn around and lose to Rutgers. They would be that team.
This has been so critical for Michigan is to get themselves into this scenario where it's third and short.
Number one ND fan. I said the same thing about Klatt and Johnson a few minutes ago. Richard. Klatt doesn't even make your shadow. I appreciate that. Klatt's good. 3rd and 1. First down.
Michigan is converting 49% of its third downs this season. Third best in the Big Ten behind Ohio State and Iowa. 13th best in college football. There wasn't much room, but Higgins found a little crease and was able to get down behind his pads and get the yard necessary to move the chains. 12 play the drive that started at the Michigan 16. First down at 10. Spartan 11.
I should tweet this out. Let people know we're here. My Twitter account. You guys big on Twitter? I know I follow a bunch of you guys. My Twitter, I need to build that up. I only have like 2,400 people following me. That should be 24,000 or 240,000. Let me get my phone.
Second and 7 at the 8. It's time. It's happening. Well, this is where Little gets with the tackle. And maybe take us to the end of the first quarter. When they play, it's likely they won't get this snap on. If they do, remember down here near the goal line, patch got right-handed quarterback. Down to expect some sort of roll to the right with Shea Patterson. It looked like they did this play. 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 for Michigan, but they've got to switch ends. So we've already played first quarter. Get back to the Virginia drive, or whoever has the ball at this point.
Helped off the field. Hopefully he's okay. And he's had a lot to do with these last couple games, especially. That Miami game was such a big difference there in the second half. Just able to run the football north and south. Nothing else matters but just hammering it home. Falling for it, give me 3, give me 4, give me 8. Lamont Atkins, by the way, will check into the ball game. Sophomore from Northern Virginia.
Virginia is at midfield. 32 seconds left in the first half. 3rd and 3, up 14. And Perkins is going to run for, well, maybe not run for a first down. He threw the ball out of bounds. It looked like he had some running room to the left, and they shut it down on him. So Virginia's going to have to punt at the end of the first half. 26 seconds left.
Ball again. He secures the football. If we can get another angle, we can see that foot. He secures it as soon as it hits his hands. All right, here we go. So watch that right foot. It's a catch. Coach still on the ground. That's a catch. And here comes the official stopping play for review. And so Lassise Dubois, who already has had a pretty nice first half with 3 catches, this potentially would be his 4th. And the fact that he went out strong with those hands, didn't try to catch it against his body, it's even more proof that it's in his grasp, and so they are reviewing it now as they stop this play, and that's it's an excellent job to keep that foot down. Rebecca gave you the report earlier from the sideline. He went over to Fergus and said, "Hey, I got you, man. I'm still your guy." And he certainly has been ever since that drop.
Ah.
But you even see that the grass kick up well after. He's got it in his grass.
What's this doing?
So offensively, Virginia
word.
probably should be ready to, rather than sending the punt team out there, have a play drawn up, 26 seconds left for a first down rather than fourth down. Who is this, Wes? Is Cameo?
It is. Larry Blackman's unplayable, North Carolina, the lead. After further review, we have a completed catch. The receiver completed the process of the catch, kind of right foot in. Plays the first down. The ball in place the 37-yard line. First down. All right, now Bronco Mendenhall, Memberhead, is now out of timeout with 26 seconds left. So, given all of that, now, at the college level, of course, the clock stops after first downs.
So they gave the Virginia receiver the catch, so they converted the first down at the Duke 37. So they can get some points here. 26 seconds left in the first half. Doesn't Perkins remind you of Jalen Hurts? Oh, Michigan game. Let's get back to the Michigan game. Okay, Virginia's going to try a field goal, I guess. Iowa just made a kick to make it 16-0. All right, 3rd and 5. Touchdown. Shea Patterson crossing route to Collins. Nico, touchdown. Good drive from Shea Patterson in the run game. Michigan looks sharp. Clap right after me. Good series by the Wolverines. That was pretty obvious. Oh, sorry. I actually, Terry Ann, I was starting to tweet, and then I started to answer some texts. All right, I got to get on that tweet to let people know about the watch party.
Check out Shea Patterson as he puts his eyes over the left side of the field. That's going to open up just enough space. And then, as you see the right here, now his eyes are going to go back to this side of the field. He sees that he's got space with Nico Collins, the big wide receiver. Then he goes right up to his face mask. What do you do with a 6'4", 218-pound guy? Go upstairs and win over the top. Jim Harbaugh loves it, as he should. Shea Patterson, Griffin, a passing touchdown of the season for Patterson. Michigan takes a 7-0 lead as we start the second quarter after about an 20-minute rain delay. Because we talk a lot about the tight ends for Michigan in the run game and the philosophy, but I will tell you this: Nico Collins and Donovan Peoples-Jones, they are two of the most impressive-looking wide receivers that I have seen all year. When you go down and watch pregame warm-up, and I just have a sense as Patterson gets more comfortable with this offense, you're going to see those two in particular, and maybe even Tariq White, who start to come back from a foot injury. They're going to start to make their presence known in the second half of this season. It's the element of this Michigan team that they can get that passing game going, some explosiveness for those big wide receivers, and watch out. Nico Collins, 6'4".
Guys, let me know when Oklahoma and TCU are back on the field. All right, Michigan 7-zip. Just started the second quarter, kicking off. Decent return to the 30.
Simmons with the return. I think you're getting a hold on Michigan State here. Number 12.
How does Maryland do its hashtag?
Tonight on FS1, it's Game 7 of the NLCS. Dodgers Brewers. The final game for the NL pennant. Winner to face the Red Sox in the World Series. Coverage begins tonight at 7 Eastern on FS1 and Fox Sports 8. Take a look at start pitching. Organized Walker Buehler, Dodgers, and Louis chasing the Brewers. First and 10 to 12. Alan Lucas, L.J. Scott in the backfield for Michigan State. Here's L.J. Scott with a line.
L.J. Scott, where you need him. All right, looks like TCU and Oklahoma are going to get back on the field. Maybe I'm going to cut loose on Iowa, Maryland over here, as Iowa looks to be in decent shape. Still early. At 16-0, I'm going to catch this drive from Maryland and see if they can do anything, because otherwise Iowa's going to get the ball back and they're up 16. Hey, Terry Ann, what's going on? Terry Ann, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Navy Thomas is missing what videos? Those from me or somebody else? Mark, send your resume and YouTube information to Fox. Maybe you can be clapped. Mark, can we do a Bama LSU watch party in 2 weeks? Yeah, we can. Guess so. Why not? Okay. Get this tweet out. Maybe get some more people on the watch party.
It's really the makeup speed and the speed in general of these Michigan players. I want you to watch the linebackers.
My social media situation isn't the greatest. 600 and some likes on Facebook, 2,400 followers on Twitter. Maryland should have been able to make a catch at the 40 for a first down, and they blew it, so they've got a 4th and 9. Should have been caught. Michigan State 2nd and 8. Michigan pass rush.
There's just nowhere to throw the ball. You can just see, as a quarterback, you see the body language of another quarterback when he's looking around and he's just like, there is nowhere to go. This is looking left.
Yeah, maybe. I don't. I'm a big Twitter guy on game days. I knew a few years ago because people told me that I should be on Twitter on game days, but you can only do so much, and I've got to watch the games. I have to actually, I'm an old guy. I actually have to watch the games, not just like catch a little bit here and there and be sitting on my phone. Michigan forces the punt. Lewerke, I don't know what he was doing there. Either threw it away or just really badly missed that guy. I think he was trying to throw the ball in a tight window, and he just figured, you know, I'm kind of half throwing this away, and I'm half hoping that I can find a tight window, but there was no room to throw that ball. Yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing there. Yes. They are having all sorts of issues throwing the ball. Okay, I'm going to get back to Oklahoma and TCU as well. So we're going to knock Iowa and Maryland off the screen. Because, let's see. Yeah, Iowa's got the ball back. 2nd and 7. And I just have to think that Iowa's in decent shape here. Just so they cover the spread. Now, Nathan Stanley just missed a wide open pass and a bootleg. Had the guy in the flat. Had Easley or Vandenberg wide open. Yeah, Easley. Nick Easley had him wide open in the flat. Just missed it. Terry Ann, your hubby took your remote away. He's a Bama fan, right? So he's just waiting for 3:30. Okay, Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma's on the move. 3rd and 14. Yikes. Okay. Yeah. All right, they're going to set up for the field goal on about 4th and 9. And I'm going to put that game on here. Hit the kick, 30-24, 31-24. I'll do my math. 31-24, Seibert with a field goal. Okay, Michigan State, Oklahoma, TCU. I will check the live chat back and forth. Switching channels too much. Do I lift? Land found. So my peak of lifting was in my early 20s when I was in college. My most impressive benching number would be I weighed about 155 to 158, and I was benching 300. But no, I do light weights, very light weights, but not consistently enough. And you know what I started doing about a month ago, and I want to do it every day, at least 10 minutes, but up to an hour, is yoga. I started doing yoga about a month ago, and I really like it. So I just want to build the core, stay strong, flexible, quality of life. Got to start on supper. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You Eastern time, 2. All right, back to the ball game here. Total yards 107-33, Michigan. You know I love the stats. Patterson running for his life. If I'm a few seconds behind on the Oklahoma TCU game, it's because I've got them on watch. So it's like a half minute behind, probably. Riley was a big yoga guy. How does that not surprise me? Football and yoga don't exactly mix.
Gentry down the field as he was running his route as a tight end. Pretty severe contact to try to get space offensively. Extended away from the defender.
Personal foul. Still offset. 2nd down.
Bushel Beatty was a clear hold in that back end, right in front of Patterson. As Kenny Willicus had really a clear path to Patterson in the backfield.
My tweet has seemed to have an amazing impact on the watch party. I think we've gone from 22 to 18.
2nd down and 7 at the 33-yard line. Taking back in running back. I'll give it to him. Looking.
What's going on with Duke, Virginia? They should be at halftime. Did they make the kick? I don't know. Tulsa, Arkansas. We can catch that one on watch. If I try to click on Auburn, Ole Miss, they're just going to shut me down and say I don't have the SEC network. I could watch a little Cincy's Temple. Cincinnati and Temple's close late. As you guys know, I talk about it all the time. I'm going to go to whatever games are close once we get into the fourth quarter here. My neck is really slept the wrong way. Okay, that ball had no chance. See, with Patterson's his running ability, and his mobility more so than that. I'm not looking for him to run there, but why doesn't he hold that ball for another tick, look to somebody else, and then throw it away? I don't know. That throw had no chance.
The second punt of the game.
Okay, bad punt by the Michigan punter. Throwing that all the way through the end zone, kicking that all the way into the end zone. All right, Oklahoma's up 31-24. They're kicking off, and they're going for an onside kick. Okay, I guess that's not that risky. So you give up the ball at the 45 instead of like the 25. And they were actually getting obviously some run backs from Turpin. Is Michigan State going to be able to score in this game? I don't know. Texas rooting for TCU. Really? What, are they trying to keep Oklahoma out of the Big 12 championship game? Is that what you think? All right, I'm getting cold. I'm either going to put a sweatshirt on or I'm going to bundle up here. I hate turning up the heat. Or I think I turned up the heat for the first time, or I even touched the heat. Didn't really turn it up. It was only at like 65, 66. But, man, here in the Northeast, it goes from summer to borderline winter like that. It was close to 80 a couple of days last week, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's 38 at night, and it's 50 during the day, 55. And it was sunny when I woke up, and now it's not.
You need the most trusted
TCU with a big first down.
Maybe not. Maybe you can trust that
This Collins kid moving the ball.
Kicker, the 7th round. Or you can just trust Duracell.
I'm in this week, Joy, telling people that Geico's been offering savings for over 75 years.
Olanua for TCU just barreled over that Oklahoma DB. Just crushed him.
Motorcycle insurance.
2nd and 4.
Lips are burning.
Mark in Jacksonville, it's 90 plus in the summer and a low of 65 in the winter. I know that. Wait a minute. Falcon Fury. Falcons Fury. I know a little bit better than that you get cold weather in upper Florida. In northern Florida, you do get some cold weather in the winter. When we go into that deep freeze, in the winter, you guys get into it's not 65 for a low. Come on now. I know you guys have your 50-degree days and 45 and 50-degree days and your 30 at night at the worst. I don't know what it's supposed to be like here today. Probably 55. Navy Thomas was stationed down there. You can't throw that at Navy Thomas.
Two completions, one out of the backfield to LJ Scott, and another one was Connor Haywood from the slot, run a little slant. He's a running back. But this pass defense living up to its billing. #1 pass defense in the country. Expect Cody Davis to start. Get more looks from Lewerke. Such a talented player. 2nd and 10 of the 20. And they run the reverse.
This Michigan defense is all over everything.
Michigan defense standing right on the bluff. They're just so fast. They're so aggressive. This defensive line, the linebacker core, it's too tough to run away from Michigan. Anytime you get a defense that is fast like this, I think the better plan of attack is running at them or use their aggressiveness against them with the screen game and potentially the quarterback run game. Tyreek Hill with the tackle there. Senior from Huber Heights, Ohio. 3rd and 11 at the 19. The rookie.
Okay, Michigan just forced a punt. They basically shut down the run game on 2 plays, and then they got pressure on Lewerke immediately from Chase Winovich. He was right there, made Lewerke throw the ball. TCU kicked a field goal, 31-27. Why did that go off my screen? Actually, on my screen right now, they're attempting the field goal. So this Cole Bunce, he's come through here. He came into the game at 2 for 4. Now he's hit on 2 pretty long field goals, 40+. Let's check in on the Hawkeyes.
After 3. Homecoming weekend.
What do we got from the Hawkeyes? Coming back from break.
Hawkeyes with the lead. When do we come back?
23-0. Love it. -9. -9, baby. -9. End of 3. All right. Let's hold the lead, boys. Love it.
Hey guys, today
We're buried. Wells Fargo let customers withdraw based on their word. We had your back then, and we've got your back today.
3-second delay for Johnny Bays on the downstairs TV.
Overdraft Rewind, an overdraft forgiveness feature.
Number 1 ND fan. I just assumed that was always Notre Dame, and then he obviously told me it was North Dakota. Auburn's up 17-9. Iowa up 23-0. Michigan 7-zip. Oklahoma 31-27, getting the kickoff. And then also, I would like to see some Auburn Ole Miss, but I don't get the SEC network. Even though I work for the company, I don't get the SEC network. And at last glance, I think they're still in halftime. Virginia Duke. I think it's 14-0. 24-9 Auburn. Falcons Fury here in Connecticut. I'm good with the weather from mid-May to about 2 weeks ago. Mid-May to mid-September, late September. Like that's the Maggie May line, right? Late September. Gotta be back in school. Mid-May to late September, I'm good with Connecticut weather. October's a wild card. March and April are wild cards, especially March. I once left California. I was in California. It was beautiful. It was in February, I think, or maybe in just barely into March. I got back here and it was nicer. It was weird. But then other Marches were buried in snow. It's all over the place. So I'm good mid-May for sure until mid to late September. I hate December, January, February, and usually March. Sometimes April sucks. There's just a lot of rain. So nice little screenplay to the tight end McEwen, who went for 16 yards for the gain. Michigan back on the move. Let's go, Michigan. Go blue. Did I say that my son would go crazy? I tweeted, this was sometime this season or maybe last season, one of my videos. And I knew that the hashtag Go Blue would connect with a few people. So I wasn't saying Go Blue, but I was just putting that on my hashtag. And my son couldn't believe. He said, "You are saying Go Blue." And I said, "No, I'm not saying Go Blue. I'm putting the hashtag on my tweet." Mark, the ND is for Notre Dame. I was messing with you when I said North Dakota. All right. I was back and forth on that because I thought you were messing with me, and then for some reason, sometimes you guys tell me stuff, and I'm sorry because I lose track because then, you know, there's like 50 of you, and so I lose track sometimes. I'd say about 50 that I know of, that I see all the time. But then, you know, at work, that's like at work. I came from a department of about 115 people that have been working there for 17 years. And obviously people change and people come and go. But now I've just switched last week to another department of about 130 people, and I've got to learn all their names. And I know about 10. So they tried the inside little handoff there to Bell, and he got murdered. So Michigan's got a 3rd and long here, 3rd and +7. Last in the FBS, converting 3rd and +7. That should not be. With Michigan's talented wide receiver and their quarterback play, to be that bad. And he threw it behind the receiver, got batted down. Not a good play from Patterson. He could have made something happen there. He had him.
And he's just trying to get the bull rush in there. He's big 9'3", that big paw comes out that right arm, and he's got Chris Evans. Patterson would have had Chris Evans probably for a conversion.
Joel Klatt, again, saying exactly what I just said. Michigan is going for it at the Michigan State 35. On 4th and 10, I would punt it. With your defense, with Michigan's defense, I would punt and pin them inside the 5 and make them very uncomfortable trying to run an offense. 4th and 10 is too far. If it was 4th and 4, 4th and 5, maybe. Oklahoma's got the ball inside the TCU 40, 1st and 10. 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Oh, is that a little nifty sleight of hand by Kyler Murray? Very nice. Very nice. Watch this handoff by Kyler Murray. Woo! Threw him a little backhanded handoff. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Lee Morris, 2nd touchdown of the day. Should be 38-27 after the kick. 6 plays, 75 yards, 243. Terry Ann doesn't watch the NFL. We've got a lot of non NFL fans with me. I shouldn't say this, but no, I wouldn't be as into running an NFL channel, but it would be close. I could run an NFL channel. The only way Michigan State wins is if they make Michigan offense make mistakes. It certainly looks that way, that Michigan's offense is going to have to turn the ball over for Michigan State to win this game. Mark, do you think the speed option will work against UGA next week? I saw Georgia play about the last 10 or 12 minutes against LSU. Georgia has not played anybody worth watching. I don't know that I can make that assessment. Playing Florida, speed option. Yeah, I'm not going to make that. Well, what do you think? There's a reason you're bringing that up, obviously.
And here are the Go Our Big sights and sounds from the beautiful campus here in East Lansing. Great atmosphere.
Navy Thomas, when you talk NFL, I go elsewhere. I will not tolerate NFL, period. Now, does that have to do with the football? That has to do with the flag. And I've Certainly have no issue with that stance. 4th and 10, bad decision, Harbaugh. Punt. If it was 4th and 3, 4th and 5. Okay, what are they looking for? Draw them off sides? Yeah, then they're going to punt. Yep, okay, I'm good with this. Try to draw them off sides. Okay, punt, fine. All right, this is fine. They were not going to go for it on 4th and 10. Will not support anything else NFL over the flag. Good call. Oh, man. Stretch out my neck. My right shoulder.
Who's got the leg? He's got plenty of leg. Here's the issue, though, Gus. I was down there in pregame. He missed about 50% of his kicks each direction. Now, it was windier at pregame, but after missing 2 last week against Wisconsin, that might be a confidence issue with their kicker right now. Punting from the 45, tries to end over a kick that he dropped back.
All right, he's going to knock this out at about the 12, I think. Oh, the 6. Woo! That was a favorable spot for Michigan. I thought that should have been marked out at about the 12, and the crowd booed when he marked that. Is anybody going to watch Colorado-Washington? What are you guys watching tonight? So 3:30 is Clemson, North Carolina State, number 1. Number 2 is going to be Bama, Tennessee, until Bama goes up 28-0. Then I'll go elsewhere. I got Nebraska, Minnesota on my radar. I know they suck, but it's Nebraska, Minnesota, and you get those staunch Big Ten schools going up against each other, and I got to keep an eye on it, just like this Iowa-Maryland situation. Who else is playing at 3:30? There's got to be another decent game out there somewhere. 3:30. Then tonight, Ohio State, Purdue, Washington State, Oregon. It's going to be good. LSU, Mississippi State. Love that game. Wes likes the North Texas UAB game. I will not be watching that. If that was on Thursday night, maybe. Number 1 Indy fan, have I not explained why we don't want the playoff to be 6 teams? Thought I explained that and everybody understood.
Covered by Josh Metellus. Darren Stewart's just coming off of an injury. 6'2", 217 should be.
TCU just came up with a big play, a huge play. Huge play. Just threw the ball downfield. Wow, that was a great catch.
Spartans are going for 3 on 3rd down conversions, 3rd and 9 at their own 7. The sun comes out and he's Lansing.
Michigan State has nowhere to throw the ball. And that's why this was a good play for Michigan. And it was especially a good play for them to back up the ball on the delay, punt it out of bounds at the 6. And Lewerke is 2 of 9 for like no yardage. Big stop by Oklahoma on the 2nd and 6 for a 5 or 6 yard loss to pin TCU back on a 3rd and 11. Okay, Michigan's going to have great field position, although the coverage was great, so they're only at the 43. TCU's been awful in the red zone this year. Their turnover percentage is 110th in the nation. Their points per drive, 97th. Their touchdown percentage, 101.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Seven nothing. Spartans trying to figure out this Michigan squad right now. They have done a solid job defensively. Offensively, they have some running the ball or throwing the ball. Now, first and 10 to 43 for You guys got Oklahoma next week. Sooners TCU today. OU wants to exit to 28-7, but the Frogs came back to make a 4-point game until Kyler Murray.
TCU's got a kick. This kid's made 2 from plus 40, but he missed that one. So you've got a kicker in Cole Bunce who came into the game at 2 for 4, hit on 2 40-plus yard field goals, and then missed the third one. That was the closest kick and dead on. Wisconsin's only up 35-17.
Conversation about whether there was a player, wide receiver in the area. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that Patterson was outside of that barrier, that tackle box, which allows him to burn that football. But now again, he's
3rd and 10 for Michigan. 1 for their last 22 and 3rd longs. That just shouldn't be. Okay, that's not doing anything. Okay, at the 38, now they've got the same scenario to a certain extent that they just had. They were at the 35, 4th and 10. They punted after the delay of game. And now they've got the ball 4th and 5 at the 38 of Michigan State. I think they should do exactly what they just did. Punt inside the 10, hopefully even closer than that to the goal line, and then get the ball back. Yep, there you go. Punt. Do the same thing. Michigan State's not moving the ball. Don't give them any life. Punt the ball. You're up 7, and this plays out to a whoa. That's what they didn't need, was punting the ball into the end zone. Now they just only gained 18 yards, so they might as well have gone for it now. But what you're trying to do there is pin them inside the 10, let your defense take over, get the ball back in midfield again with, let's say, 3 minutes left in the first half. You see this 2005 TCU win over Oklahoma? That's kind of cool. Or look back. All right, 38-27. OU with the ball to 21. Trey Sermon just split right through the hole. They gave him a nice little hole off tackle on the right side. Just got about 21 yards. I could use an OU touchdown here. That would be good. Okay.
Confidence right now going on in the kicking game. Jim Harbaugh and Queen Nordy, because they were within range without a lot of wind right now. It's basically 0 on the playing surface, and they have not attempted to go down the field. Spartans started their own 20-yard line. Scott with room. Field position has been an issue, as you mentioned, Joel. Michigan State, their drives have started at the 20, the 12, the 20, the 6, and the 20. That's right. Folks, that averages out to their own 16-yard line. Meanwhile, Michigan's been starting on average about their own 36-yard line. So, game in which Michigan State's going to have to start tipping that field position back into their favor. You've got to do that by sustaining a drive and moving the sticks. 2nd down and 4. Scott. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's like he ran into the wall. Hudson. Winovich, and I tell you what, man, these guys up front.
3rd and 6 for Oklahoma. Big play here. Threw it up for grabs for see who that was. So OU has to punt up 11 with a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Cincinnati up on Temple 17-10, 4 minutes left in the 3rd. 3rd and 4, big play, bad pass, tight coverage. Michigan's defense locking down These Michigan State receivers, the difference between their separation last week versus Penn State versus Michigan this week, totally different. 4th and 4. So Michigan, despite not getting the punt where they needed to and punting into the end zone, pretty much accomplishes what they wanted to. So Michigan State's punting from the 24. Michigan's going to get it back with 4 minutes left in the first half. In decent field position. Should be. Oh, yeah, at their own 45.
So let's take a look, Parker, at what's happened so far. Let's go all the way back to pregame. This was Devin Bush.
Damn cold. Devin Bush, like a moron, is carving up the Michigan State logo. So not only is he disrespecting the Michigan State logo, he should be disciplined in some manner for chewing up the field. Would they just let players go out there and just dig their spikes into the turf like over and over and over and over and over and over? Like if 100 players went out and started chewing up the field, well, they wouldn't let them do that. Ron Higdon, beautiful run, beautiful run. He could have been thrown down for a 3 or 4 yard loss, and he's just taken off for 30 yards, 35 yards. Karan Higdon, beautiful run, 38 yards. Watch this run. TCU's got the ball back at its own 23. One tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, and I believe a 4th one's coming.
Partnership with the tackle after a 4-yard gain. But they are just hammering away on that left side of their offensive line. John Runyon's over there. John Runyon, 6'5", 310. Ben Bredesen, a junior, 6'5", 320 pounds. Over the team captain. Things to say about Ben Bredesen, and they're trying to run left side as much as they can. 2nd and 6. Big sure his way through the hole. He hits like 3. Ownership again. I don't want to leave out Cesar Ruiz, number 51 in the center, because Michigan does something and Stanford does this a lot too. They're one of the few teams that will actually pull their center out and actually get him leading up on those running backs. And Cesar Ruiz does a great job of that at 6'4", 319 pounds. Third down to 3, to 13. Michigan over the last 3 on 3rd down conversion. Here's Patterson.
Why is Shea Patterson taking a sack in that situation? He had plenty of time to see that he could just need to throw the ball away. Go.
Space. You got to give him a chance. He's got 3 yards, 2 yards. They're on the defender. Patterson's got that whole corner to throw the ball to. There's no reason to hold on to it.
Shea Patterson better get used to making those kind of throws in the NFL, because that's an open, wide open throw in the NFL. Quinn Nordine, 11 of 14, missed it. That is a huge sequence for Michigan. And for Michigan State, of course. Patterson misses the open receiver. He takes a sack when he should have thrown it away. They missed the field goal from 36. And that was just a...
And after 3 straight possessions that Michigan started on the plus side of their 40-yard line, once on the plus side of the 41 at the 51 inside Michigan State territory, and they come away with 0 total points. This defense has got to be thrown. Sometimes your defense can create momentum for your offense. Let's see if that's the case here for Michigan State, who needs it desperately for their offense. Spartans with 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half, 1:36 to go. Just seems so similar to last week. Last week, Alex Hornberg come out, completed his first couple of passes. Then he went 12 straight without completing an element. He comes out this week, completes his first couple of passes. Now he's been 8 straight incompletions for Michigan State.
Michigan State comes out for the first play, and they've got a delay of game on the first play of a drive.
Down 15 for Lewerke. Having a hard enough time making first down. Much less. It's 15. As Lewerke spreads out of the pocket.
Nice catch. Stewart, Darrell Stewart with a beautiful catch. Lewerke made a bad throw, but it was good enough that he was able to slide, come back to the ball. That was a beautiful catch by Stewart. It bailed him out, get the ball out to the 30. Lewerke? No, that is, don't look for a flag. That's good defense. He's in your path. He was in your path where you were running. He doesn't need to get out of your way.
David Long probably got away with one on that far side. A lot of contact. Felton Davis as he tried to get to that ball. 2nd and 10 at the 30.
Sack.
He's got 2.
Uche.
Joshua Uche, the junior from Miami, with the 2nd sack here in the first half. You're getting some of these guys that are getting a chance because Rashawn Gary is not on the field, banged up with that shoulder. Uche is taking advantage. There's a banged up Spartan on the field. That's number 18, Felton Davis, their best wide receiver.
Felton Davis is down. That's not good. Yards allowed. TCU averages giving up 312 yards. They're at 460-something against Oklahoma. 14 minutes left in the game. They're going to give up 600 yards of total offense, but they're in the game. Oklahoma's ball up 11, 14 minutes left. TCU could fall to 3-4. Uh-oh, Felton Davis. I didn't see that, but it must have been serious.
Very articulate, positive. Junior from Richmond, Virginia. He was putting together a season 2, 6'4".
Oh, Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon. Great balance. No, that was Brooks. That was Kennedy Brooks. My bad. 25 and 26. Kennedy Brooks almost brought down, kept his feet, hand on the ground. Well done. OU on the move. They've got a first down at the TCU. Kennedy Brooks today is averaging 11.7 per carry, 164 yards rushing. OU's at the TCU 33. Let's keep it going, boys. Oh, yeah. This is a touchdown. Beautiful run. There's a Trey Sermon. Who am I thinking 25? I'm thinking Rodney Anderson. Rodney Anderson's 24, right? 24, 25. Yeah, Trey Sermon. There might be a flag on the field. Is there a flag on the field? No. Trey Sermon just went for 33. That was a beautiful run. That was great blocking, too. 4 for 75. 4 plays, 75 yards. They score in less than 2 minutes.
Almost a gift from Lewerke. It's exactly what I told you Lewerke had to avoid. Almost gives it to Michigan right there on their side of the 50. sixth punt of the game for Tyler Hunt. Gets that one off. Donovan Peoples-Jones fields it.
So Michigan had a bad series offensively their last trip. Shea Patterson made a few mistakes. There was a sack, a missed field goal. They had that whole sequence of field position in their favor that they should have gotten points. But when your defense is that good, look, they've got the ball back in midfield again.
Well, this is like rinse repeat right now. Great field position.
Joel Klatt, right with me again. This is like rinse and repeat. Got to get Joel Klatt on the show. 45 seconds. What does Michigan do with this? Well, the first play was botched, was just blown up. They didn't fool anyone. Virginia's got the ball here with a 17-7 lead. And again, watch Bryce Perkins, the Virginia quarterback, throw the ball.
He's going to take some chances with these big wide receivers. Allow them to go make the field. Allow them to put the football if necessary. Second and 10 to 48.
Dump down for nothing. So Michigan's going to have a 3rd and 10 at the 48. They may be blowing this situation as well. Virginia, 2nd and 10. Perkins takes off. Gets the first down. This is a game I should have played. I was really feeling good about Virginia with 7. And, yeah, sure enough, they're up on Duke here by 10. So Virginia's a player in the Coastal right now. They're going to be a player in the Coastal. Still a ton of time left in this game. There's only 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So, but if they score on this drive and they've got a 2nd and short at the 40, I was going to shut out Maryland, it appears. 1 minute left in the game, up 23-0. Cincinnati leads Temple 17-10 in the 4th quarter, 14 minutes left. Oh! Almost. Was not a bad pass. Not a great pass. Not a perfect pass, but not a bad pass from Shea Patterson. And in that situation, that's the play to make. That's the thing to do. 4th and 10. So Michigan's going to punt. They're going to go up 7-0 at the half, it appears. There is nobody at this Duke-Virginia game. Okay, TCU's got the ball back. They need to do something quickly. 13 minutes left. You know these Big 12 games, 13 minutes left in the game's a ton of time, but still, they are down 18 points. And there was actually some good Oklahoma defense in the first play of that drive. The cornerback, number 6, played the ball well. Trey Brown, sophomore from Tulsa. Virginia with a nice gain. 2nd down to bring up 3rd and short. Collins with a first down run out to the 44. Michigan's punting, 27 seconds left in the first half, 4th and 10. And I don't know, there's another whistle. Timeout, Michigan. TCU on the move, another first down run. The Iowa-Maryland game moved along so quickly that they are done, and they were done at the point that there was 14 minutes left in the Oklahoma-TCU game. TCU with the kickoff return touchdown and with a couple huge downfield plays for touchdowns has 11 first downs right now, and Oklahoma has 25. But big plays, keeping them in the game. Barely in the game. Michigan State better just pack this in. So this is a key stat that they're showing right now with Michigan with a field position advantage, having started on average at its 39. Michigan State's only starting on average at its 17, so that's a 22-yard difference every time there's an exchange of the ball, which has to be about 8 or 9, 10 times in the first half. So that's 200 yards difference. Okay, they're going to the half. Let's get the Oklahoma TCU game up here. This is the first time that Michigan State's been shut out at the half in this series since 2012. Okay, that's not that significant. Oklahoma. Oh, Gallimore's a good player. Neville Gallimore Jr. out of Ontario, Canada. He's limping off the field.
Shut up, boy, you done down. Now, this is just a quick message. To Ohio State. For Ohio State Buckeyes football fans. Why have you not subscribed to MarkRogersTV yet? We are doing. We should support. I'm a Gallimore Hurricane fan. You see this, y'all. Y'all see this. Miami fans. I don't like Ohio State. But Mark Rogers is my brother. And he does a lot of great things for the college football community and all of us YouTube bloggers. And it seems like, I don't know if y'all even have Wi-Fi in the state of Ohio.
Okay, you guys, you need to go to Alonso1219. Alonso1219. Look at his last video. It's about me. Funny. It's great. I appreciate it a ton.
Having the flexibility to retire on your terms, that's the power of Pacific. Ask your financial professional about Pacific Life today.
Subscribe to the channel. You can say what he told me, but I know because I see this in scriptures. I feel like y'all are disrespecting Mr. Mark Rogers. For real, no, serious, man. Go get subscribe to Mr. Mark Rogers TV, man. He does a lot for all the video makers, man. He shows us a lot of love, man. He shows a lot of support. But at the end of the day, he's a buck hood. At the end of the day, he's a buck hood. And I want to see him grow because he's a great person and a great brother. So Ohio State fans, Ohio State alumni, it's like a couple 100,000 of y'all out there. Go to Mark Rogers, check him out, give my brother a shot because he does it for all of us. Enjoy, guys. Follow the boy. Out.
It takes time to lend a hand when their hands are full. So at Nissan, we build trucks with the tech you need to keep moving. We're calling all types. Neighbor, the outdoors, community. You got your truck.
College football on ABC is presented by Jared. Dare to be devoted. Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. Innovation that excites.
That's funny. That's great. Love that. All right. Virginia's up 20-7. All right, 45-27, 10 minutes left. I'm going to just put some more clothes on. Man, whew, that time of the year when the chill just gets in the bones, starts to get in the bones, and it shouldn't. Virginia with a big pick. Daniel Jones going downfield, and nice play by the Virginia DB. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Man, nice play. Oh, Hall. He was all over the field. Had a brilliant game against Miami, and he just made a great play there. Great play. Be right back. Great sermon, Oklahoma rushing. Running the ball.
as good as Oklahoma is up front. Their offensive line, this tailback group might be about as talented and deep a position group they have. They will be tested if they lose Trey Sermon. He's down, he's outside.
Where's tailgate? Where's it?
What? Okay.
You're Desmond Howard. I wish. So, you doing any tailgating this weekend? Yeah. Everything you might need. Charcoal, grills, even generators. We'll get you ready for game day. Okay, you're the person. Cool.
Your game day stuff is really cool. Just check down below now. 49. ESPN college games.
Last year, Cameron Maven slid into the taco history books when he stole a base in the World Series. But who will be this year's taco hero? If someone steals a base this World Series, Taco Bell's letting everyone in America steal free Doritos Locos tacos. Steal a base, steal a taco. It's not what champions do. It's what champions don't do. They don't back down. They don't settle. And they don't quit. Except for Kate. Yeah, we quit Kate. Because we are cool. And we don't quit. Unless what? That's all. 1-800-RIGHT-TV.
Johnny Bays can't make the live stream. Sermon down for Oklahoma. I missed that.
Featuring tech like Pro Pilot Assist. It helps keep you centered in your lane and in control. This is how Nissan Intelligent Mobility is reimagining driving forever. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway. Hey Google, show me a 15-minute taco recipe.
Playing founds at the gym. Good for you.
Show me my calendar.
All right. Mississippi State's D-line will get plenty of pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, that's a good point.
Really?
It's a good point. Okay, what happened to my game over here? Oh, Michigan State back yet? Trey Sermon. That's big.
Last season back against UCLA earlier this year, and Ridwan is a compliment. Low Sermon there. But now Kennedy Brooks back in. He's had himself a day. Brooks on second down from midfield. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Johnson made the stop, so a much better down stop.
Even ESPN is ranking on Michigan for the antics of tearing up the field. Ta'amu, Marco, yeah, Burrows too. Bama game time almost. Yeah, should we strike up a 3:30 watch party? You guys care? Okay, so what else did I want to note here? I forget now. Something else I wanted to go with here. Okay, this is about the time of day on Saturday there. We're getting down to it here. Like 5, 6, 7 minutes left in the games. But we've got nothing close. Obviously, Michigan State delayed, so they're only at halftime. Oklahoma up on TCU, 18 points with 7 minutes left in the game, 3rd and 10 for Kyler Murray, and I know I'm behind. Oh, they obviously didn't get it. They're punting. Okay. But they punt the ball down to the 1. So TCU takes over at their own 2. They're down 18 with 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left. Oh, I may have to check out this. Let's do that. Let's check out the Cincinnati Temple game. Let's go to that. Cincinnati Temple. And if Rutgers continues to hold off Northwestern, got to check out that. Okay, I'm having some serious network issues on the feed on this Temple Cincinnati game. What's going on? Is anybody watching Temple in Cincinnati? Is it just my cable, or is this the feed is breaking up constantly? It's like unwatchable. Huh. Okay, we'll come back to that. Northwestern up 18-15 with 3 minutes left. Where is that game? Oh, there we go. There we go. Big Ten Network. I'm on the Big Ten Network right now. 3 minutes left. Northwestern's got the ball. They're up 18-15, 3rd and 6. So I'm locking into this. Saturday in the life of Mark Rogers. Yeah, during college football season, definitely. Definitely now that my kids have gotten through and out of high school, yeah. And no girlfriend as of the first week of June. 31-16 Auburn. Falcons Fury. I don't think Temple fans are watching that game. Well, then they're not Temple fans. I get it. There aren't Temple fans. All right, big play. 3rd and 6. Northwestern's going to run the ball, and they run for a first down. So Rutgers is Rutgers. They run the ball right up the middle. Rutgers can't stop a 3rd and 6 run. If you can't stop 3rd and 6 running play when the other team's trying to milk the clock and they run the ball on 3rd and 6, and Northwestern can't run the ball. Look at Northwestern's rushing stats. They're one of the worst rushing teams in the nation. And so if they can convert that, yeah. Rutgers, you should lose. Isaiah Bowser, 21 for 94 today, though, with 2 touchdowns. So this kid, Isaiah Bowser, is not going to run for anything close to 94 yards against anybody this year. I can about guarantee that, but he's going to run for 100 yards against Rutgers. Here he comes. 2 more.
Just a yard there. That West Division race that we talked about, Iowa won, so they're 3-1. Northwestern trying to get to 4-1. Badgers are winning.
Okay, I've got to go back to the Cincinnati Temple game. This is going to be the ugliest win on Northwestern's resume, that's for sure. 18-15 at Rutgers. All right, let's try Cincinnati and Temple again. It's the, I don't know what it is. If you guys aren't seeing it there, then it must be the transmission between the cable company and me on this particular channel. Iowa wins 23-zip. I cover the 9. Love it. This is awful. I can't watch the end of the game. The Cincinnati Temple game. Cannot watch the end of the game. It's unwatchable. Whoops. I'm going to flip to Virginia Duke as well. What's going on there? They're in break. TCU's got the ball. They just threw one downfield, incomplete, 2nd and 10, 6 minutes left. They're down 18. So they have to score in 2 minutes. They've got to score in 2 minutes to cut it to 11 with 4 minutes left and make it a 2-score game with 4 minutes left.
Back to Piscataway momentarily for the finish between Northwestern and Rutgers at the Wildcats try to solve one.
Should I do a 3:30?
Don't go anywhere.
You know what?
Saturday doubleheader.
We're going to talk up all the noon games right at the end of this window, and I'll probably shut it down for 3:30. Maybe we'll do a little halftime at 3:30, so 5:15. We'll do something like that. I think I'm going to do a halftime of the 3:30 games, and we'll look at those, okay? 3:30 halftime window with Alabama, Tennessee, Clemson, North Carolina State, Nebraska, Minnesota. There's got to be some other teams out there playing at 3:30. The 3:30 games.
With all those one-loss teams and all the crossover teams between them coming up. Rutgers one timeout left, second and 9 here. Northwestern not out of the woods yet.
Oklahoma, a pick at the 10, almost a pick 6. Game over. Game over. Oklahoma's going to cover for me. Beautiful pick. And that should do it.
That's pretty good line blocking right there. You know, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to look at the schedule.
You ever would have thought that we would be coming in and say that Northwestern won this game because of their running game?
Okay.
That's 2 weeks, 40 yards.
So at 3:30, again, Alabama's at Tennessee. We also have North Carolina State, Clemson. We've got Colorado, Washington, which is a key game in the Pac-12. Penn State, Indiana. Houston, Navy at 3:30. So I'm going to come back at roughly halftime of the 3:30 games, about 5:15. Going to come back at 5:15. After we conclude, we're going to finish up here. We're going to put a wrap on the noon games and talk about what happened here and what it means.
ZipRecruiter finds people with the right skills, education, and experience for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Does everyone like ham sandwiches? Yeah, they're decent. Maybe he's going to get killed by Houston. I'm ready. I have 2 ears, one on the radio and one on MarkRogersTV. I get SEC, not Big Ten, Mark, so have to live vicariously through you and Navy. Yeah, Richard, so I don't have the SEC network. Ironically, I was in the master control room standing there when we put the SEC network on the air. I was there, right there when we actually launched the network and fired up the transpond and sent it out to the world. But I don't get it. And what happened was that was about August 15th. We started the SEC network about 2 weeks before it actually went to air. No, we started the network about 2 weeks before football season started and the fall sports season, because of, obviously, you want to make sure you work out all the kinks and you run taped programming for those 2 weeks, and you start your studio shows, all the preseason specials, and do all that and ramp up toward the football season. So it makes sense from the technical standpoint of working out all the kinks and making sure that you're set to go and ready to go, and you've worked all that out by football season. And number 2, it makes sense from a programming standpoint because you preview the season. From a branding and marketing standpoint, you launch the season and you get ready for the season. Makes sense in all those ways. So what was funny was a couple weeks later, after, again, I was not integral in launching the network, but I was there, I was in the room, and you know, I worked on it. So anyway, the night of the very first SEC network game was South Carolina, Texas A&M. It turned out to be the game, if you guys remember, that Kenny Hill was the quarterback at Texas A&M, and he torched a top 10 South Carolina team. Didn't turn out to be that good, 7-6, but they were a preseason top 10 team. He torched their secondary for about 520 yards passing and won like 52-27. So anyway, I'm driving home from work. It's about 6:30, 6:45. The college football season's about to start. So I think, oh, I don't have the SEC network, or I don't think I have it. I call my cable company. They verify that I don't have the SEC network. And I said, okay, I'd like to order it. What's it going to cost me? They said like $140. I said, what? They said, yeah, you got to make like $140 or $180 commitment. I was like, yeah, forget it. I'll watch the other games tonight. So I've never had it. I can watch it at work, but cannot watch it at home. So I rarely miss it because there's so many games on Saturday, and I'm off on Saturday, which is a good thing. So I rarely miss it. All right, so Oklahoma's wrapped it up. They're good. Now, this would be a bad beat if Oklahoma would give this up and go from 25 up to not covering the spread. I'm gonna believe that Oklahoma can handle this, not just win the game, but cover my 7.5. I'm gonna believe that. Virginia Duke. Let's keep an eye on this. So Northwestern beat Rutgers. 4th and 21. What's going on here? There must be a punt. Is the reason why there's all this strategy session. Yeah, there's a punt situation. So let's see what happens here, just in case that there's not a fluke and something crazy happens. Okay, they're calling timeouts all over the place. TCU is running the ball. Okay, they've given up. So this is what we learned at noon. We've got Oklahoma, despite a turn in the game where within 3 plays they could have had a pick 6 to go up 35-7. They gave up a couple bad plays defensively and a long touchdown run to make it 28-21 after a couple of TCU touchdowns that came like that, 28-21, then 28-24, that Oklahoma clearly is the better team, and they have just offensively have been dominant. They have to have 600 yards of total offense against a good TCU defense. So Oklahoma, and they held up defensively. Sean Robinson benched in favor of Michael Collins, who has played well. The last interception, I'm not going to hold that against him because he was just trying to make a play, and the game's over, and he throws a pick. He's down 18 at his own 2-yard line with 4 minutes left in the game. Not going to hold that against him. So Gary Patterson's got a decision to make whether he's going to stay with Michael Collins or he's going to go back to Sean Robinson. The TCU season is unraveling at this point at 3-4. Oklahoma, obviously, just with 1 loss, still very much in play for the Big 12 championship and beyond. We also have Iowa, and it doesn't seem significant, but consider how many big games they have down the stretch and how many big games they've played in recent weeks against decent teams, and especially the loss against Wisconsin that they still have to make up for. That to not let that turn into a game against Maryland was a big statement for Iowa winning 23-0. So Iowa is tied with Wisconsin. And so consider that Iowa just needs a little help. They need Wisconsin to lose a game. Now they both have to go to Happy Valley and play Penn State on the road. But a big game and a big win for Iowa, shutting out Maryland 23-0. We've got Virginia and Duke right now. There's 10 minutes left in the game. Virginia has cut a double-digit game into now just a 6-point lead against Duke. This game is key. The winner of this game stays in the Coastal race. Virginia Tech doesn't have any losses, and they've defeated Duke already. And so the winner of the Virginia-Duke game stays alive for the Coastal Division Championship. Not that the loser's out of it completely, because they would only have 2 losses, but they would have head-to-head losses against some of the key teams. So 20-14, Virginia leads Duke. There's a 3rd and 6 for the Cavaliers. So if they don't convert here, They give the ball back to Duke with about 8.5 minutes left in the game. So we're not going to be hung up on that. We're not going to stay on the line just for that. Now, Temple has just scored with 50 seconds left in the game to tie Cincinnati. And again, my feed is breaking up. So the only thing that I can see on this is that the game is tied with 50 seconds left. So I would love to be able to see the end of the Cincinnati-Temple game, but the transmission is not allowing me to. Duke has stopped Virginia, 4th and 6. So that pretty much sets us up for the 3:30 window that is coming in about 15 minutes. Wisconsin, Illinois. Wisconsin, I believe, is comfortably in front, 49-20. Any other games? One last score update before I remind you guys that I will show up at halftime of the 3:30 games at about 5:15. Score update on all the FBS games. Here we go. Here's the scoring update on all the FBS games. Michigan, Michigan State back on the field, second half, 7-0 Michigan. They've got the ball in their own end, 12 minutes left in the third quarter. Oklahoma has defeated TCU 52-27. 50 seconds left in the game in Philadelphia. Cincinnati and Temple tied at 17, so there is most likely going to be overtime, but Cincinnati will get the ball with about 50 seconds left. 3 minutes left in Wisconsin. Badgers lead the Illini 49-20. Toledo and Buffalo. The Buffalo Bulls lead 24-17 with 6 minutes left in the fourth. Miami and Army are in overtime, 21-all. North Carolina leads at Syracuse. I'll probably try to find this game. 14 minutes left, 24-20. Virginia leads Duke. Duke with the ball with 8 minutes left, 20-14. Liberty leads Idaho State, 20-10. There's a minute left in the first half. Ohio leads Bowling Green, 35-14 at the half. Utah State just started the second quarter against Wyoming, and the Aggies lead 7-3. FAU leads Marshall 7-3 in the second quarter. Charlotte's up on Middle Tennessee 6-0 in the first quarter with 8 minutes left. 5 minutes left in the first quarter at Ball State. Ball State trailing Eastern Michigan 7-0. Western Michigan and Central Michigan, no score, just underway. Final score from the SEC. Auburn wins at Ole Miss 31-16. The final, as we know right here, Northwestern 18-15 over Rutgers. We talked about the Iowa win over Maryland 23-0. Arkansas has also matched Iowa with a shutout win over Tulsa 23-0. And that gets you caught up for the 3:30 window. I appreciate all you guys joining the chat. Let me check it out one more time here. And I'm going to catch the end of the Cincinnati-Temple game and watch the rest of Michigan, Michigan State, and we'll get all caught up for 3:30. All the games kick off in about 12 minutes. I will see you guys about 5:15. Thanks so much for joining us. See you soon.